Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. You're most welcome, and we've got the latest Manchester United news and transfer news for you. And I must just say, this is for me the best show we've done in weeks, because it's coming from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and it's massively important in relation to transfer news. Now, yeah, we've spoken about Sancho, we've spoken about Pogba. These are not direct quotes from Pogba or Sancho, so we're speculating. We're speculating on news that's out there. These are words from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's mouth, and they are effectively a Manchester United transfer promise in a time where we're living in uncertainty. United can talk about signings a month ago, but we weren't in lockdown and we didn't have a global crisis that was impacting on the football financial markets. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out in the last 24 hours and spoken about this world that we live in, this transfer market that we live in, and has been massively encouraging. And these are the words, in case people didn't see it. I'm sure we're capable, when we get back to normality, that we can do the business we want to. This is from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the midst of this lockdown, in the midst of this football financial crisis, effectively saying he is sure we're capable of doing the business that we want to do. To me, that is absolutely massive news for Manchester United. And all these people who are saying United aren't going to sign anybody, and me saying on Sancho, and look, if you don't know the latest on Sancho, check out the eye in the top right hand corner after this video. Go and watch what we know so far about Sancho and where we're at. Brilliant video last night. Thanks everyone who tuned in at 8 o'clock. But when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is saying, I'm sure we're capable of doing the business we want to do in this new market, that to me suggests that what I feared, maybe United might pull out of deals because of a loss of revenue, looks like we're in a strong position. He also said we're ready when it happens, and we're evaluating our plans, and there may well be, he spoke about exploiting the market. He said, you don't know what clubs now have to sell, but we, Manchester United, are in a strong financial situation. This is really encouraging. I mean, I read it, I'm saying it to you now, and I'm actually getting a bit of, I wouldn't say goosebumps, but I'm feeling a bit, I think these are very inspiring words from Solskjaer. Now, we must remember that Solskjaer did say similar last year. You'll be surprised at the quality of player that wants to come to United. Agents are ringing us up all the time, and then we ended up signing Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and Dan James, and whilst they were all good players, I wasn't surprised at that quality. I thought he was talking about, a little bit better than that, and they've been good signings, so we've got to be a little bit careful. But Ole doesn't need to say that. He could say, well, you know what, it's, the world's in an absolute crisis at the moment. Football transfers and what's going to happen in the future is a bit unknown, and I would have thought that would have been the straight bat answer. But to come out and basically say, we will be making the transfers we want to make, and who knows what other transfers might be available because clubs might need to sell because we're in a strong position. Fantastic news about Manchester United, and a really strong statement from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I really did like what he said, that we're using this time that we don't normally get to spend with our families, but also on a footballing sense, we're using this time to evaluate, look at our targets, speak with our scouts. We're constantly having live chats and WhatsApp groups and everything like that. And this is what I said a couple of days ago. If you said, United, it's a pause button for everybody. We don't want this pause button, but you can use this pause button in a positive way. And the transfer market that United were going into could be a very different one. There might be opportunities to exploit Lille with a Babakari Samare. There might be opportunities to look at players that you weren't looking at, maybe in South America, maybe in Portugal, and you could say to one of your scouts, right, you've got a month, mate. Go and get every match you can get of that player. Go and speak to everybody you can about that player, because that's what I think. This is the time. No football club, hopefully, touch wood, is ever going to have this happen again, where we're sat on our arse for 2-3 months with nothing to do. Like, even in a normal summer when we're meant to be off, the people are doing tournaments, they're on holiday. No one can go on holiday, no one can do a tournament, everyone's sat at home. There's a real opportunity for scouting networks at all clubs, but especially Manchester United, to use this situation to really delve deep into scenarios. And I think, from what Solskjaer's saying there, look, the targets we've got, we're going to go for. We know who they are, but also maybe we're going to look at some other targets that we would like to get that we thought we wouldn't be looking at, that maybe now in this new world we could look at. So massively encouraging. For me, this is the biggest news to come out of Manchester United since the lockdown, because it's from our manager, and it certainly is inspiring, confident, and looking forward, and not saying we're going to close the doors. That very much opening the doors to deals when football comes back. Really, 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 really pleased with what Solskjaer said. And it's not a quote from a paper. It's not, speculative. This is from his mouth yesterday talking on Sky Sports. So real positive. A Solskjaer transfer promise about we will do the business we want to do when football comes back. We're ready. we're planning, and we could even exploit other clubs if they need to sell. Massive, massive news. Smash a like. It's massive, massive news. If you want to get a Bruno t-shirt, by the way, because I'm wearing one, links in the video description. They are still shipping worldwide. Check it out. I'll show you what designs we've got in a moment. But let's look about other news, because that to me is the big news of the day. Massive news, really is. I can't over reiterate that. I mean, of course, Solskjaer might not be telling the truth, and it might not transpire, but he doesn't need to be that positive about it. So really, really encouraged by that. A little bit of more praise for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Erling Haaland, saying that the work that Solskjaer did with him as a striker, he'll never forget that at Mulder, staying behind with him teaching him about finishing, the extra work. Really, really encouraging again that Haaland and Ollie have that relationship. Who knows in the future what might happen? I think if Mino Raiola wasn't involved, that deal probably would have been done. But unfortunately, Haaland has attached himself to that man, and that makes it very, very difficult. Even if you get a player of Mino Raiola's, how long are they going to stay? Which then brings us on to Jesse Lingard. Now, as I understand it, and unless we find anything different, Jesse Lingard has teamed up with Mino Raiola. Now, Lingard's never been so busy at the moment because, as I said, Manchester United really do value Jesse Lingard on the social media side of things. And as I said, jokingly, I think United are very good at their social media, but Lingard's their go-to person because Lingard loves social media and he's very good at it. Instagram, Twitter, whatever. We had Jesse Lingard taking over some United account yesterday. I think he scored some goal from his staircase. It went down into the goal and someone said that's your first goal in a year. So, I mean, is it banter? Is it unfair? Look, in this current market, in this current time, I'm not really in for going in on players. I'll talk about players in a blunt way about what I feel about that future for United. But at the end of the day, we're all struggling, and Lingard's having a bit of a laugh. I'm not bothered about that at all. But United do value him on that level, and I worry about how much United value Lingard off the pitch. When on the pitch, I don't think he's good enough. But Lingard has apparently, well, there's a story in the Metro, so take it with a pinch of salt, but despite interest from Arsenal and Everton, which we spoke about last night, Lingard is clear that he sees his future at Manchester United. But I think that's very unclear, because I think when you get Mino Raiola as your agent, you don't go and get Mino Raiola as your agent just to get a new contract at Manchester United. Man United don't like working with Raiola. So if Lingard wants a decent new contract, the last thing you do is bring Mino Raiola in. Mino Raiola, to me, can only be brought in because of a move for Lingard, is what I think. But apparently, it's hard to judge with Lingard. I mean, if you're asking me at the moment, or I'll ask you, do you see a Lingard in a United shirt next season? And I've got to be honest with you, I'm probably 70% sure that we will. And I said I'm 70% sure that we're going to sign Sancho, so that's quite high in transfers. But then I think the Mino Raiola, if he hadn't got Mino Raiola, I'd be thinking, who's going to buy Lingard? Why would he leave? But because we have bought Jesse Lingard, I am quite convinced that we are going to sign him. I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. I'm a little bit annoyed because someone's left the door open and I can hear the birds singing. So I'm just going to pop out and close the door because that's massively irritating. I mean, we all love birds singing, but not when we're doing Man United transfer news and Man United news daily. Sorry, birds. I'm quite used to birds flocking around me, but not when I'm working. There's a Christmas tree appeared. That was not what I wanted to click. Anyway, we're back. We're back in the room. So Lingard, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. Lyon, this is coming from L'Equipe, that Lyon are bracing themselves for 2 transfer bids this summer. Moussa Dembele, the striker, and Aor, I can't pronounce his name, but more specifically to United, Moussa Dembele, the striker. Now, we've been linked to this lad for quite a while, formerly of Fulham, then Celtic, then Lyon. Goal scorer, definitely a goal scorer. Linked with Chelsea as well. I think he'll go to Chelsea. Got a very interesting story about Koulibaly as well, actually. I forgot about that. It's this Solskjaer thing's got me proper excited. So, Moussa Dembele probably will leave Lyon this summer. They normally sell 2 or 3 players each summer, so I think he will leave Lyon. How will Lyon be because of this global financial market? And is Lyon one of the clubs that Ollie could be talking about exploiting that need to sell? I think Lyon have always been in a good position, but they aren't PSG. They're not owned by multi-billionaires with oil. So Lyon may well find themselves in a situation where revenue drops massively and they need to sell. And they need to sell some of their stars. They're very good at cultivating new stars. And Moussa Dembele, I think, will leave this summer. He may well go to Chelsea. Chelsea's need for a striker at the moment is more than ours. Tammy Abraham has been struggling. Giroud's too old. Batshuayi is a Poundland Lukaku. And they need a striker. So I think Chelsea will make strong moves for a striker, whereas we will make strong moves for a right winger because that's what we need. But we are looking at a striker. Moussa Dembele is interesting. I do not think he is the quality that we would want. I don't think there's a massive amount of difference between Moussa Dembele and Ighalo. I think if you're choosing between Ighalo and Werner, Werner is a very good quality striker, and a lot of people would say let's take Werner. If you're choosing between Ighalo and Moussa Dembele, I don't think Moussa Dembele is going to come into this league and be any better than a Lacazette. I think that's his sort of level. And funnily enough, he came from Lyon, didn't he? And there's nothing wrong with Lacazette. There's nothing wrong with a Charlie Austin type of striker. But I think Ighalo offers better value for money. All right, his wages are going to be big, but he's not going to cost 40, 50 million quid. I think United will stick with Ighalo rather than going for a Moussa Dembele. But we are linked with him, and we have been linked with him for quite a while, so it'd be wrong not to talk about him. Talking about other strikers, Harry Kane, interestingly, Dimitar Berbatov was saying yesterday that he does see similarities between the Harry Kane situation currently and Berbatov's situation when he came to United. Obviously, he came from Spurs to United. There was a lot of talk about whether we could get that deal done. It was a very difficult deal to done. As I recall, we did it on the transfer deadline day, right at the end of it. And Berbatov is saying that he can see similarities between Harry Kane and his situation. And ultimately, you would say, well, does that mean that Harry Kane's going to come to United? I don't see any similarities between Kane and Berbatov as players, and I don't see any similarities between the situation. Berbatov, Spurs knew that Berbatov was going to go. Berbatov wanted to go, and I don't think they were in any position to stop that deal, really. They just had to get the best deal they could get. Harry Kane, Spurs don't want to sell him. The price is too big. His contract is massive, and they definitely don't need to sell him. They're not in financial crisis. So I don't see Harry Kane being in a similar situation to Berbatov, and I don't see Harry Kane coming to Manchester United. In fact, I would say I'm 99% sure we're not going to sign Harry Kane, which is a massive percentage to say. I don't see that happening at all, despite what... I mean, maybe Berbatov's talking because, just making noise for noise's sake, but I don't see it. I don't know about you lot. Koulibaly story, just before I talk about something else. This is interesting. This is coming from Sky Italia. And what they're basically saying is that Ancelotti at Everton, obviously Ancelotti was at Napoli, he's got a good relationship with Koulibaly, and they're saying that Everton have got a lot of money. So Koulibaly to Everton is now looking like the story, which I think would be a major shock, but then would it be? Everton do have money, and they've got Ancelotti who's trying to build something. Everton next season could be a team to keep an eye on. Everton next season could do what Leicester have done this season. So Premier League could be improving. I think many of us have complained this season about a lack of quality, and I definitely agree with that. We've been crap. Arsenal have been crap. Spurs have been crap. Chelsea have been crap. I don't have Leicester been that good, or have those other teams been crap? And I think we've been crap. And I think Man City have been crap. And I think Liverpool have just been like Liverpool have been for the last 2 years, and nobody's been anywhere near them. Next year, I'm hoping that ourselves, everybody else steps up a gear, because that's where you challenge yourself, and maybe Everton can do that. But yeah, I don't think United are in for a centre-back, but the Koulibaly story, I just wanted to add that in to just say that I think Koulibaly will be playing in the Premier League next year. I don't think it's going to be at Manchester United. And although, going back to what Ollie said about exploiting clubs that need to sell, if Lazio need to sell, not Lazio, Napoli need to sell, they can't suddenly say we want 90 million for Koulibaly anymore. You might pick up Koulibaly for 50 million. So maybe United would enter the market then. I think what United don't want is a centre-back of massive value. But if there is value in the market, and I like Upamecano at Leipzig, but I don't think RB Leipzig are going to be a club that's struggling for money because of how they're funded. But there may be centre-backs out there that suddenly become on United's radar because of how cheap they could be. And these are the things that we need to bear in mind without a shadow of a doubt. But look, I'm massively encouraged by these quotes by Solskjaer this morning. And if anybody hasn't seen them, Solskjaer saying to Sky Sports, I'm sure we're capable, when we get back to normality, that we can do the business we want to do. He's sure that we can do the business we want to do. And we know the business that we want to do. The business we want to do is 3 signings. And whether that's Ighalo, Grealish, Sancho, whoever, that is encouraging when our manager's talking about it. Let me just show you something then. I'm wearing a Bruno t-shirt. I've just made myself disappear again. I didn't want to do that, but I did want to do this. Links in the video description. If you want to get hold of some United Stand merch, we've got all the jumpers and the t-shirts there. It's warming up, everybody. It's warming up. It's warming up. It's a really hot week in the UK this week, so it's t-shirt weather now. Lots of t-shirts for you. The green and gold, the 1999, the United Stand, the Class of 92 emblem, the Adored one, which is lovely. But I'll show you the one I'm wearing, of course, the Bruno t-shirt, which you can get in a number of flavours or even colours. There's the design on it, Bruno with the BF18 and the Trident, Portuguese Magnifico. You can also get it in red, of course. I think a lot of people prefer the red. But we've got other colours for you as well. We've got, what we've got? I like the navy. I haven't got the navy myself yet, but I do like the navy. We've got grey, we've got forest green, we've got burgundy as well, and then the black, which I'm wearing. So links in the video description for that. Get yourself on that. We do ship worldwide, everywhere. Summer's coming. It's a cracking t-shirt. You're going to walk around like that and people are going to say, they're pretty cool. Also, what else? Check out the video from last night, where we're basically a tour de force of where we are with Jadon Sancho in the first few minutes. So if you haven't seen that, the link's in the video description. I'm sure it'll flash it in the bottom right hand corner now. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the Sancho video. Get your t-shirts if you want. Get your comments in below. Massively encouraged by what Solskjaer's saying. So I hope you are. Thanks for watching. So I'm back at 8 o'clock tonight, and I think we might have DT on with Flex at lunchtime. So watch out for that.